Hi guys, Angie Bell's My Fairy Treasures. Okay, let me take a seat here. Okay, you guys, we are, you know what? Let me just scoot my camera over a little bit because I need to scoot myself over. We are creating, as you saw in the pictures before we started here, we're going to create that that three-tiered pumpkin, like you saw in the pictures before this. So let me start out with this, what we're going to be using. This is, everybody who goes to Dollar Tree knows what this is. This is one of the thankful and blessed signs. Okay, so I'm using one of these. We need the 3 different sizes to create the 3-tiered type of pumpkins. The other one I'm going to use is this one. And what this one is just one of the wooden ones that you can, the paintable ones. And I've already gessoed them. Then there's this sign here, and I've already removed this. It's these signs here. They are usually attached to this little base right here, and it's the welcome friend sign. So we got the 3 different sizes so that we can make this 3-tiered pumpkin. Okay. So what I did is I took and I used some, I use Kilz, K-I-L-Z. You can buy it by the gallon at Home Depot or by the quart at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. A gallon of it was what I buy, is like 15. You can buy a quart of it for like $6 or $7. You can also use gesso, but it's a primer. And the Kilz is a wall primer. It's all the same stuff. But I primed all my pieces first. So I primed that one, I primed this one, and I primed this one. So that is what you're going to need from Dollar Tree. And it doesn't have to be these exact ones. You may have 3 different sizes in your own stash, but if you don't have them and you're looking for them, there we go. Okay, so let's first start out with this one. And we're going to start out with the largest one, which is the one at the bottom. I'm using, these are the colors I'm using. So if you want to get the exact colors, you can, or at least try to get the similar colors. This is Apple Barrel Burnt Umber. You can get it you can get this at Walmart. Okay. Also, this is Craft Smart. You buy Craft Smart from Michael's. This is terracotta. So you just need a terracotta color. Okay. So this you just need a dark brown. This one you need a terracotta. So if you can't find these exact ones, then you know at least the type of colors. And this one's parchment. Parchment is a beautiful color. It's like an off-white color, like vanilla. This is that terracotta. And this is that burnt umber. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to take, oh, and this one here that's in parchment is Folk Art Multi-Surface. You can get this at Walmart. But you know what? They have parchment and a parchment type of color in every brand. So that's the color you're looking for. Okay. And I'm working kind of far out. So hopefully everything's fine with me working this far out. I'm doing that so you can see the whole thing. So, all right. So I'm going to take the parchment and we're going to do that first. Okay, and put it right there on it, and let me get a brush, wet my brush. Okay, and let's put a coat of the parchment on here. I'm just looking at this, wondering if I put too much on here. If I did, I'll put it some. Yeah, I did. I'll put it right back in the bottle. I don't like to waste. I don't like to waste paint as much as possible. Not like I've never wasted paint, that's for sure. Okay. There we go. So putting that first coat on here. Now we want, when you're working with acrylic so that they blend into each other, you always want to work very wet on wet. And then that way these colors blend good together. Let me put that in my thing. Okay, so then after you use the parchment, get a spray bottle and spray this with some water. This is just to make sure that your paint is extra wet. Okay, so now I'm going to take this terracotta color. Now this terracotta color, for me, for what I want to do, is too, it's just too bright. It needs a little brown. So I'm going to take this brown color, this burnt umber, and mix this a little bit in here. Make sure I have my brush that I want to use. Yeah. And I'm going to mix a little bit of this dark umber in this brown. So I'm just trying to muddy this up a little bit so it's not such a stark terracotta. I want the terracotta to be a little more muddy. Okay. That's, I think, what I want. Yep, it is. Okay. So while that's wet, we want to work wet on wet. So, I'm just looking down at my thing. Okay, so we're going to put this on just like this. Oops. Okay, what you want to do as sorry about that, guys. Sorry about the chair. Get a paper towel, because it will be picking up that white paint, and you want to wipe off that white paint. Okay? Because it's going to blend in that white paint. Just wipe it off every so often. Okay? Okay, so now you have this basically on here. You want to wipe off your brush again, wet your brush, and go over the edge of this. And what that's going to do is that's going to start blending this out, right? Wet your brush again, kind of rinse out and wet your brush again, and go over the edges of this. Every so often, rinse out your brush again. There we go. Go from there and do it again. Go right on the edge. And what that's doing is it's just blending out that color lighter and lighter. Now you have a little bit of that terracotta left here on your making sure you guys are seeing. You have a little bit of that terracotta left right here. Let's take that and turn it into like a wash, like a watercolor. And then just start going like this and bringing this out. So what we're doing is we're just getting that terracotta color just to keep blending out and blending out and blending out. Okay, we're going to stop right there for a second. And we're going to go in with this, we're going to go in with this dark brown, this dark umber. Let me find the brush that I want. This is the brush I'm using, something like that. And you guys, the thing about this whole thing, it's not an exact science. So when you're seeing these techniques, you just want to get, let me focus for a second. I'll go back to what I was saying here in just a second. These are just simply techniques. So you don't need to do it exactly like how I'm doing it. You don't need to have exactly the same colors. You just want to learn the concept and the techniques so that you can take and use whatever colors matches your decor or what you're doing or the colors you like. You could end up doing a pink pumpkin. You could do a purple pumpkin. I have a feeling that these colors that I'm using will match a lot of people because a lot of people like to do farmhouse. So, to me, this is very farmhousey. Okay, so then we want to go ahead with that brown like this. This is when you're putting those things in the pumpkin. The whatever these are called. I'm not thinking right now, of course. Sometimes it's hard to think. So I'm just using a wet brush and going right on the edge of this brown. And what that's doing is it's blending the brown out. So that there's not any harsh lines. And I'm wiping my brush off every so often, putting it in the water. Okay. That looks cool. Okay, now also around that, I'm going to put some of this burnt umber again. Add some of this brown. I probably should have put it in a different area than that area because there's a lot of water on that, but it's fine. Just drop some brown in there. Use terracotta to get that browned out. Okay, and then let's just go right. We're going to go right on the side of the brown. And you're always picking up that white, so it's important every so often just to wipe off your brush. Okay, then take your brush again, a wet brush, and just go right on the side of this. And then let's go back to this terracotta color and add some water to it again. And come in here. Okay. There we go. Keep taking that watered down terracotta and bring that in here. There we go. This looks really good. I think I'll leave that alone right there. I will just bring another little bit right into here. I'm just looking at my pumpkin that I just did, which is on the floor. So right here, I'm just using, keep doing this with the watered down terracotta color that I have right here. Okay. That looks good. Okay. Okay, I was just looking down at my sample. Okay, then I'm going to take this dark brown, this burnt umber. Make sure you guys are still there, San. I'm going to take this burnt umber on a brush like that. Okay, just make sure that this brush isn't too wet. Let me get a new paper towel out, you guys. Okay, on the edge of this whole thing, even the stem, I'm going to go up here and put an edge out everything in brown. And in a second, we'll take care of the putting some terracotta up in there, up in the stem. I actually forgot about the stem. How could I forget about the stem? Okay. I'm just going on to all the edging. Okay, so I'm going to take that wet brush. I'm going to take that wet brush and I'm just going to go right over the line. And this will just blend out it out right into everything else. With all this, just rinse out your brush here and there. And it's great because you are using that parchment color underneath. It's blending in with the brown to help blend the colors together. Because the parchment makes that next lighter color to make sure that you get a blending out effect. Cool. Once this dries a little bit, I may go back through and etch it in this dark brown just a little bit more. We'll see. I'm going to take some of this terracotta color and bring some of that in here to add some color. And then we'll let that dry for a second. I'm going to take this burnt umber again and just throw in some stems. Just that type of, I don't know, some pumpkin-y type of stems. I'm going to add a little bit of brown in that, just a little bit. Sorry, you guys, if I get quiet here and there. I'm just focusing. Okay, so back down here at the bottom, in between those brown little bits at the bottom, I'm throwing in some of this terracotta. Okay. And then throw in some brown. Again. Okay. And then come back up here and just throw in some brown. This up into here. Like this. Okay. Rinse. And then let's throw in some brown. Yep. Let's throw in some brown stems here. Okay. So once this dries, I'm going to throw in some more brown stems. I'll throw in some like deeper ones and some more terracotta ones. I'll get them a little bit deeper. But this right into here, you know, I'm just going to see if I need to. Yeah. Just want to blend that a little bit. Take that terracotta color, it's a little bit more into here. See how I'm playing with it? I'm playing. There's no right or wrong answer with any of this. You can keep kind of playing a little bit. You can play yourself right into misery, really, but I'm just playing a little bit more. But the basics of it, I really, really like this. Now, the only thing I said, like I'm going to do probably once it dries, is see right here on the edge how it's really blended in with the other stuff. I'll probably go in and just crisp up the brown edge. Very, very brown edge. And I won't even blend it. It's already been blended. But I could crisp up that brown edge going around a little bit more. I'll take the brown and add a few more of the little, let's call them little whiskers, little pumpkin whiskers here. And some more pumpkin whiskers here, the brown and terracotta. But we have to let it dry. So that is how I've done it. I think that looks really, really cool. So we'll let this dry. We'll start another piece. We'll come back. We'll finish it up with some whiskers. Okay. As you can see, these take us a little bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one here, which is, I'm going to probably change the color. On my last one, it was like a greenish color, but it's not the exact color that I want to use. So we're going to change the color up a little bit, but the techniques are the same. So this last one, I'm not going to do that one, okay? Because it's the same thing over and over and over. But I just want to show you guys the techniques of what I did. So, but I will do this one, so at least we can have two of them on camera. Okay, so let me go ahead and pause this, put this away, and set up for the next one. Okay, you guys, we are back, and I think I created the color that I wanted. I was trying to find it at the craft store. What I did was I was inspired by, I should have mentioned her name. I was inspired by Olivia's Romantic Home. She did one of these three-tiered pumpkins. So I was inspired by her, and also I saw some three-tiered pumpkins painted on canvas, and also how we're assembling these. And one of the ones I saw, like a three-tiered pumpkin painted, it was one of these colors. This color here, hopefully you guys can see it. Let me, where the heck did I put my, there it is. Yeah, see this color right here? This is a very hard color to make, or to buy. So I think I made it. It was like a bluish, tealish green color. So what I did is I took this apple barrel turquoise, get at Walmart, Craft Smart, get at Michael's, but it's this kind of blue right here. The turquoise color looks like this. Okay. This bright blue, you can see it there. And then this is a folk art again. This is olive green. So this is a really dark, deep green, and a little bit of this. So it was probably mostly the turquoise, add a little bit of drops of blue, of this dark blue, and then a little bit of this olive green to make this color. I tried to find this color in the store, like, you know, at Michael's, Joann's, whatever. I never could find it, so I think I made it. All right, so what I did to prepare this is I went ahead and used my parchment color again, and this is by Folk Art, but you can find parchment in every brand. I put a light coat. I did a lighter coat that I did last time. Last time it was a little bit too heavy, but I did a really nice thin coat on there. I sprayed it with some water, so we're all set. So let's start with, let's go around the edges here. Yeah, I'm liking this better. Remember how much paint white paint I had coming up? I have a little less white paint coming up. There we go. This is better. So when you do, I'm gonna make this a little bit thicker. Oh, I love that. When you do your parchment coat, that first coat, make it thin. Try not to make it too thick. Still wipe off your brush here and there. Yeah, I think this is the color that I wanted. If not, I like it. Just can't find the color you're looking for. So then it's time to start the mixing. Okay. So then let's take that same brush, wet it a little bit, dab it off, and let's start going through the edge of this. Just how we did before. With just a wet brush. So that parchment, rinse your brush off again, dab it. That parchment below really helps to blend, out the water, and the parchment color below really helps to blend out that harsh line. Okay. So I still have a little bit of this color on my brush. I'm just still playing with that same color. There we go. Let's do that again with just a wet brush. Just play with it again. See how much further out we can get this to blend out. Awesome. All right, so now we're to the point where we need to, let's just take a little bit of this, put it down here, and add some water to it. Make it into a little bit of a wash. So that we can come right back here and just keep going like this. We just keep doing a wash. There we go. And then let's do it to the other side. There we go. Love it. Okay, we need to create the our two pumpkin shadowy lines in here. So let's go back with this brush here And this is the size we're looking at. Go back into the, not the wash, but the regular turquoisey color that we began with. And where I start with, see the lines of the pumpkin? It indents here, goes out and indents here. That's where you're going to do that line. And you want that line to be pretty fat out and then come up like that. Let's go back over it again. You want that line to be pretty fat because you're going to blend it out. Okay, so let's do it here. So if you're looking at it and you're going, well, how do you know where to put those two pumpkin lines in at? Right where it caves in. See, it caves in here, billows out, and caves back in. So here and here. And this is the pumpkin sign that's just like a wood looking piece that's a paintable pumpkin. Well, that's what I want to call these, topiaries. Pumpkin topiaries. That's what I wanted to call them. I mean, I could call them the other word too, but pumpkin topiaries. That's what I heard somebody call these. Okay. So, taking that same brush with just water, let's go right to the edge and blend that out. And remember, it's the white, it's the parchment color below mixed with this brush is what's giving us, there we go, is what's giving us this thing that makes it blend out, this effect of it blending out. And I'm just using the same color that's there and keep blending it out. I still use this and blend it out. Now, if you run out of stuff to keep blending it out, just go back to, like you're blending out that line and you run out of paint, just go back to your watercolor that you created right here, right? There we go. That looks really good. Okay. Yeah, I might switch brushes for a second. Let me throw this paper towel away. That paper towel's gone. Okay. I'm going to go in with this brush here. It's a liner brush. And I'm going to take this color and I'm just going to just, with this liner brush, throw some strokes up into here like that. And then I'm going to take some strokes here like this. Yeah, I'm like working with this liner brush on that part. That works out really nice. Let's do the same thing down here. Okay. There we go. Okay, guys, I'm just looking at things. I'm going to go back in with that watercolor. Just run it through like this. Like this. So I just took that watercolor and I just ran it through. And keeping it, you know, swiping this way and swiping that way. So everything is like this, okay? Everything's like this. I'm wondering if I shouldn't edge. I'm wondering if I shouldn't edge this in some brown. I'm just looking at it. I'm almost feeling like maybe I should. One thing, let me take this brush back here. Put some more of this color in here. Because I seem to be losing that a little bit. There we go. Let's do the same thing here. There we go. I don't want to lose that deep shading right there. I can blend other things up, but I don't want to lose that. All right, you guys, I'm going to pause you for a second. I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting because this is the first time I've used this color and I've used it with you guys right on camera. I'm going to experiment with some dark brown on the edging and throwing some dark brown in through here and see if I like it. If not, then I won't. So let me go ahead and pause and then we'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I went ahead and added some brown. So I took my liner brush here and I took that dark brown and I added some little just swipes like this at the top with the little pumpkin hairs, we'll call them, and in through there for the stem. Then I came down here and I did some more brown in the little, we'll call them little pumpkin hairs. And then I went ahead on the edge and just etched it in brown, just on the very edge. We're just adding some of this brown. And I like the addition of this brown. I just think that it frames it. Just gives it a little bit of framing. It gives it a little bit of aging, which it needed. So let's just take the water, go right on the edge of that brown so it blends out with water. Okay. Okay, so let me just put a little more brown on there. So that last little one that goes on top, I'm not going to do that one on camera with you guys. I've shown you the techniques. I'll show you the colors I used so that if you want to use those same colors. But you're not going to always be able to have the same exact colors, right? Some colors I mixed together to get this color here. Sometimes they don't have the colors in exactly that I used. Some of my paints are old. They could be 3 or 4 years old. I don't know. I have a ton of acrylic paint. But I can tell you this, the best place to go get your cheapy acrylic paint is in the craft section at Walmart. You're going to pay like 50 cents. And you can buy their paints there. I think it's, is it Apple Barrel? Yeah, it's Apple. Is it Apple Barrel, the ones you get it? Yeah, Apple Barrel. I think that's the brand that they carry there for 50 cents. So it's the best deal. It really is. Okay, so let's continue this. Just taking the water. Well, let's do it this way. To go up. Rinsing off your brush here and there. Just taking just a wet brush. This is so we can blend the brown into the rest of everything. Okay, we haven't done this part yet. Okay. Let's blend this in. And I'm taking some of that brown watercolor basic stuff and just kind of making a little base down here for all of this. Just bringing it up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. I'm just thinking if I should put a little bit of brown in here. Okay, I'm going to put some brown right in the center of this. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit of brown right in the center of this. I always say this, you guys, sorry if I get quiet. I'm just focusing. Okay, so then again, we want to blend that out, right? So let's just take a wet brush, no paint, right on the side. And that'll start blending that out. Do the same thing here on the other side of the brown. Okay, and then that'll blend in with the with that turquoisey greenish blue color that we created. I'm actually going right over that line again too. Just making sure that that line's blending out. You know what, let's just go through and add a little bit more brown. This line needs to be a little thicker. Remember, I told you this is not exact science, but it's a technique, and it gives you plenty of room to play. Okay, I like that better. So I took now my bigger brush, this bigger brush here, And I just kind of went over the whole thing just to get it to look more smooth and more blended. Just a wet brush. And I like that so much better. Just going right over that brown. Like that. There we go. Now I like it better. That looks good. Let me see if I want to do that same thing here with this. Oh, you know what? I like it better like this with this big brush. So, this big brush, no paint, just water. There we go. Awesome. That looks good. Okay, so let me go ahead and put, that looks really pretty. Let me pick this up. Let me go put this down so it can dry. So that's what it looks like up close. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the, ooh, I got some. What happened is when I picked this up, it started to, some of the paint started running a little bit. So let me go put this down. I'm going to show you guys something. It's not going to all fit into the camera, but my last piece, let me go ahead and pause and I'll set up and I'll show you guys the last bit of all of this. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I want to just finish the video up and show you guys how to finish this whole thing up. Okay, the last thing we didn't do is we didn't do this third pumpkin, right? This one right here. Okay, so that's this one here. How I created this one here is the same techniques as we've used before. I used the parchment first all over, right? Spray it with water. Then I took and made took my terracotta and added a little bit of the dark brown, just a little bit, just to muddy it up a little bit, right? And I just did those same techniques here. I did the same techniques where I did this here, and then I did my you know, my, what do you call these? A little pumpkin crevices. I don't know what you call those, but my little pumpkin crevices right here. I did that with the terracotta color, okay? Then I didn't add brown in this part because we want this pumpkin to be the lightest one, right? I just took the dark brown and just edged it out, but I didn't add the dark brown in here because I wanted to keep it really, really light. So it almost looked like, almost like a white pumpkin, okay? But it needed a little bit more oomph, obviously. Also, I took a little bit of white paint, mixed it with water to make it like a watercolor, and just brushed it over this, just to make sure that this white pumpkin looked different than the one on the bottom. I wanted to look really, really light. So that's how I did that. And I'm not going to do this one just for the sake and time of the video. And I want to give you guys creative license. You've learned the techniques. Now I'm going to give you creative license to do your last one. Also, you may not want to use these colors. You may have your own colors in mind, but now you have the techniques of how to create it, okay? So it almost doesn't even matter the colors. It's the techniques that you use to make something. So it's techniques and skills that you learn to make something, not the exact colors. Okay, so at the top, this is how I dress the top. Well, okay, well, let me say this before I say this. I went ahead and glued all three pieces together, and I'm going to show you all. I'm going to turn this around so you can see all three pieces. The biggest pumpkin, the middle, and then the smallest. I E6000 them and hot glued. So I put E6000 down first, and then I put hot glue on. I mixed it up with hot glue. You can decide how you want to do it, but I mixed it up with hot glue and E6000 at the same time. And first apply your E6000 because your hot glue is going to dry really quickly. And the reason you want to do the hot glue, that's your instant adhesion, while your E6000 takes the time to really adhere these pumpkins together. Okay, so here at the top, I embellished the top. And you can embellish your top any way you want to do it, but I'm just showing you the way I did it. Make sure what you guys are seeing. Okay, so, and I'm going to show you how I attached all 3 pieces here in a second. But at the top here, these right here, these are gorgeous. These are from Dollar Tree. You can find them in the floral section, especially the fall section. You guys, whenever you see these, pick these up. I pick them up 10 at a time because I use them in flower arrangements. I use them in projects. I use them so much. Anyway, so I've already glued these on here, okay? And they're glued. I glued them underneath these leaves. Also, these leaves right here, I added these 3 leaves on. They came from this bushel of leaves from Dollar Tree. Okay? So just get yourself a little, you probably have these already, or you have some other type of leaves in your stash. So look in your stash. Especially for this part, you don't need to run out. I'm going to add this one in here. You don't need to run out and probably pick up too much. Look through your stash first and see what you have. I know some of you are like, no, I want mine to look just like that. I like that at the top, how you did that. But I would say, if you can, pick these up when you see them. I was just at Dollar Tree today, and they had 10 of these, and they never seem to have a lot of them. They had 10, and I love this natural color, so I picked up all 10 that they had. Okay, now this is like a wine color one. It looks very fall. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to take this whole piece and add this right in the back of it. And look what that does. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so let me add some hot glue onto this. Now this may or may not stay on here, so I won't do it on camera, but I'll show it to you in just a second what I'm going to do. What I'll do off camera, just to make sure that this stays on here well. Okay, let's just smash that on. I'll take a piece of felt. Did that glue on? Yeah. Okay, so let's just turn this over. Oh, I don't want the glue to get on my thing. Just a minute, let me clean up my surface here. Make sure I don't have, well, I'll just hold it up. Okay, so this is what we have here. I'm going to take a piece of felt, put a piece of felt, hot glue. I'm going to put tons of hot glue all right here, right? I'm going to take a piece of felt and put that over it. And that piece of felt and the hot glue will hold this onto the back of here. So that'll be perfect. Okay? All right. But it'll stay for now. But that's what I'll do to really get that to hold on. Just a second. I got hot glue little strings everywhere. Hopefully that lets go. Okay. Then I took, like I said, I took these 3 leaves from Dollar Tree and I hot glued that on here and here and then threw that one on top. These are underneath the leaves. So I glued these on first, hot glued those on first. Then I put the leaves here and then I put that leaf there. And I think it looks fabulous. And there's one more. Oh, you know what I think I want to do? Just 1 second. I might want to add some more. Do I want to add that? And then I was thinking about adding this butterfly. No, I don't think I want to add that butterfly. I was thinking about I was thinking about adding this butterfly right here, which I think it'll look really, really pretty. Let me look in that. Let me put this on and then look. See, I was thinking about adding that butterfly, which I think is so unexpected. And also, I was thinking about adding this flower here also. Either one would look really pretty. A butterfly on a pumpkin would just be so unexpected. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make a decision, and I'm going to put this butterfly on there. So let me take, they have clips on the back. You can get these butterflies from Dollar Tree also. And a lot of times they have them in the craft section and the floral section. Mostly the floral section though. This is just, you know, Dollar Tree flowers. So I could, if you can't find a butterfly, you can also put the flower there. So, and this is what I'm talking about. Go in your stash for this part, and just look and see what you have in your stash. Okay. So I just made that decision. I went ahead and just put the butterfly on. I love it. And we'll save that little flower for something else. That's gorgeous. Who would think that on a stack of pumpkins, on a pumpkin topiary, that there'd be a butterfly sitting at the top? No one. Okay, so let me show you. Look how fabulous that looks. Isn't that gorgeous? I think so. Okay, so let me show you how it looks at the bottom. So you guys will have to look at the pictures, what you did before the video started. I have a bunch of pictures of this, and then there'll be pictures after, so you can really see it in full view. So that's what this looks like on this side. And now I did think about, should I have stacked them where you can't see the stems and you just see the pumpkins stacked on each other? And it didn't look that great, in my opinion. I liked it better like this with the stem showing. So it's up to you what you want to do. Some people be like, well, that makes more sense not to see the stem. It does, but it looked better doing it like this, in my opinion. So do what you want to do. But the big thing is just these painting techniques for the pumpkin. Okay, you guys, I think that is it. Yes, that is it. So I hope you guys learned something, learned some new techniques. You are inspired. Go get your pumpkins. I would go get those pumpkins right now while they still have a lot of the fall stuff, and why also they have the Halloween things. Go find your 3 different sizes of pumpkins. Also, one other thing I want to tell you before I let you go, because I'm going to do another DIY, and it's going to be a painting of, oh darn it, just a second. It's going to be a painting of the 3 pumpkin stack, this pumpkin topiary. So before you glue these, before you do anything with these pieces, make yourself a pattern of the largest one. I just did this on some you can use some cardstock or some poster board. I think I used poster board. Of the big one, make a draw out the medium one and draw out the small one. Then you always have a pattern if you want to draw these out and make a canvas with the pumpkins. And I'm going to make a video on that. So make sure you just make some patterns before you start painting these and gluing them all together. Okay, you guys, that is it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up, any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook or Instagram. And I want to end my video like this. Try to do something nice for someone, especially someone you don't know. And try to maybe do something nice every day for someone you know and you don't know. We really need to make this world a better place, you guys. So do something nice for someone today, okay? All right, you guys. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay, you guys, I wanted to come right back. I'm sorry I ended the video and then I just jumped right back into the video again. Okay. As I was taking pictures, I looked at this and I thought, you know what? Remember I was saying I kind of had the stems showing? Well, it doesn't look like the pumpkins are being stacked, okay? So, I mean, I'm sure some of you are like, girl, that doesn't look like they're being stacked because you wouldn't see the stems. Well, I know that, but it didn't look right to me. But then I started working some things out, and this is what I came up with, okay? So these aren't glued on. I'm going to glue these on with you guys. But this is what I did at the top, like the other one. Okay, and sorry I have to show it to you guys like this instead of this way, but it's too long. It won't fit on my desk that way. Okay, so I'm going to take this away here at the bottom, and we'll glue that on together so you can see. Because I was looking at some pictures, and at the bottoms they would have like flowers and all kinds of stems growing and stuff like that. It just looked a lot better. Okay, so you can see how I glued it so you don't see the stems. See? So now they look stacked, right? Like stacked pumpkins. Okay, so let's glue on the pieces here. I can turn this diagonally like that so I can work. And I'll show you the other one how I fixed it, because I already had glued it together and I E6000'd it. But since I put on the cluster of leaves and flowers and all that, you can't see the stems, okay? So I'll show you guys that in a second. Okay, so these pieces, these are flowers that you get at Dollar Tree. They come like this, but it's a whole stem of them. I cut them apart. Pick these up when you see them. They don't have them all the time, you guys. It's not always easy to find them. But they have them in this color. They have them in wine. They have them in purple. I would always pick up a color like this because it's so natural looking. So it's going to go with a lot of different things. Okay, so let's hot glue this on here. Okay. This on. Okay, I'm going to put that one there. I feel like I need another piece. Like I don't have enough pieces right now. Oh, that might work. Okay. I'll go with what I got for now, and if I need to throw some more pieces in, I will. But maybe this will work. Yeah, this will work. Okay. So I'm laying these down, and I'm just using hot glue. Then I'm going to take, I think I'm taking these like this, and then I'll put this flower here. Is that what I had before? I think so. I feel like I need another leaf though, so just a second, guys. I'm going to grab another, stealing a leaf from my other thing. Okay, so I'm going to do it like that. So I have this. Oh, and the leaves, I should discuss where I'm getting everything. All this is Dollar Tree. So when you see those little bags of leaves, pick them up because you can use them in so many things. Even beyond fall, you can still use them in your other craft projects. But pick up these leaves. And I wouldn't just pick up the orangey ones. I would pick up burgundy colors like this. I would pick up the whiter, like white ones, like I did here. And here, to divide between the small pumpkin and the large pumpkin, I just threw in some leaves right at the bottom of that smaller pumpkin. Let me make sure if you guys are seeing that. Yeah, I threw 3 white leaves right here at the bottom of the small pumpkin. I'm glad it came back on. I wanted to come back on because if something was bothering me, I'm like, you know what? They need to be stacked. They need to look stacked. They need not to be showing the stems or they're not going to look stacked. So it was starting to bug me and I'm like, that's not right. Get back on and do it right. Okay, and then I'm going to put this flower here. Again, this is just a flower I pulled off, see? Off a Dollar Tree bouquet of the whiter flowers. This is why I say when I do my haul videos, I always say, you know, don't just pick up 1 or 2 flowers. For one, pick up enough to make a pretty bouquet of flowers if you're going to make a bouquet of flowers or make a centerpiece or whatever you're going to do. But also pick up a couple of extras so that you can, you know, deassemble them and do things like this. Just so you always have a nice little stash of stuff to work with. Which, I mean, I'm singing to the choir. Most of us do that, I'm sure. We're crafters. Okay, so now we're going to put this down here. We're going to go ahead and layer the flowers there. Again, I apologize for having to work at this weird angle. I just have no choice. Okay. Right here, these are the ones where you can buy a whole stem of this really deep, beautiful purple, and then the wine color. Isn't that gorgeous? To me, those are such fall colors. In my opinion. And this may not be your fall type of fall colors, but they're definitely mine. I decorate for the fall with the wines, burgundies. If it's orange, I like it to be a rusty orange. I like to use the off-white flowers like this that have a lot of brown in them. To me, that's all fall. And then I love the orangey rusty flowers. If they have enough rust to them, not the bright orange. That's just what I like. But you've got to do you. Okay, so I'm going to lay this in here. I always say you have to do you. Always. Do what you think. Do what makes your heart sing. Should I put that there in the middle? Yeah. And I still got to put something here, which I'll do with these. Okay. And it's just hot glue. Okay. And then we're going to lay this one in here. So you just lay them to how you think they look good. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad it came back on. That was bothering me. If you make videos and something's bothering you, look at it, take it aside, and look at it and say, okay, what is bothering me about this? And you can usually come up with a way to resolve it. I need to cut this a little bit. Get these in your life if you can. These are the Tim Holtz scissors. They cut wire. They cut these stems on this floral stems, which can be very hard to cut sometimes. They cut wire. You guys, they cut everything. And I didn't get them right away when they first came out, and I regret it. I should have gotten them with all the crafting I do. But my husband was with me, which he's rarely with me at the craft store, and he goes, "What are these scissors?" He goes, because he was attracted to the whole Tim Holtz setup, because it's very rustic and very manly and cool. We all love Tim Holtz everything. I said, oh, those are these really good scissors that cut everything. They cut wire, they cut fabric, they cut paper, they'll cut floral, they'll cut everything. And he's like, oh, so he wanted them for himself. He never used them. Of course, I took those right out of his little area, and I started using them, and I am obsessed. So whenever you see those, and you can, Michael's, Joann's, wherever, Hobby Lobby, use a coupon and get those in your life, because those are fabulous. Okay, I think this goes like this, and this will go like that. Yeah. Okay, so this again is another one of those beautiful leaves in the packets. I'm not sure if this is from the packets. Also, pick up just the floral leaves like this. Okay, make sure you pick up some of this type of stuff, because you can also just cut them off of here. So if you can't find the bags of leaves, just pick up the bushes of leaves. That's another way of doing it. And now, if you want to hang these on the wall, well, it's going to be kind of hard to hang them on the wall if you decide to do the tops how I did my tops, because how would you hang it? So anyway, I don't want to use these to be hung. I'm using mine to lean up against the wall behind like a whole fall look. And then that'll be the backboard of the fall look. So these are going to be leaners for me. But if you want to hang them, then you can, figure out how you want to hang it. And I'm going to show you guys how my other one turned out. The one where I glued the pieces together with the stem showing. I'll show you how I corrected that. I didn't take it apart. I just added all the bits, all the flowers and all the flowers and stems and all this stuff to it. And then I hid the I hid the stems. So it looks like I stacked them like I stacked these. Okay. Just a second, guys. I gotta throw all this. I gotta clear my space a little bit so I can move around. Okay. So let me see what you guys are saying. Just a second. I still gotta clear some space. You can only have so much stuff out at one time before you have no room to move. Okay. Okay, so there you go. Doesn't that look so cool, you guys? Now, like I said, I will have pictures of this in some fall decor at the end of this video. And you saw some pictures at the beginning, too. Look how cool this is. It's so pretty, isn't it? Do you like how I did this part? Okay, I did all of the fall. Let me just make sure you guys are seeing it. I did all of the of these picks, these fall picks. I did the mixture of the dark plum and then this, I don't know what kind of color, this real natural color. And then I did some fall leaves, a beige, and then this color here. And then I did a butterfly. These butterflies are Dollar Tree. Aren't those beautiful? You guys, get those in your life whenever you see the in the floral section or the craft section, but usually they're in the floral section. You see these beautiful butterflies. They usually come 2 to a pack. Pick them up and just have them in your stash because you can use them. I put these. They also come in like, they come like this, but the stem, this right here is mostly white. And I do a pink shabby chic Christmas. So I put these butterflies all over my Christmas tree and it looks fabulous. So, okay. I think this turned out really, really pretty. It's not a lot better. Okay. So let me put this one aside just a second. And I'm going to, let me remove this. Let me get my other one. These turned out a lot better than I thought they were going to. Even more pretty. Okay. Okay. Look how pretty that is. Now see how okay, here at the bottom, how I did this whole little arrangement. But as you go up, see how these two, there was a stem, there was one of the pumpkin stems here. But I hid it with all this stuff, which I think it looks prettier like that anyway. And then here, at the top, I pretty much hid it with these leaves here. There's a little stem right there, but you really don't know what the heck that is. It just looks like it's a part of, you know, the leaves. So it doesn't, you can't even tell. They look like now they're stacked on top of each other, right? And then I did this whole thing. You guys saw this yesterday, how I used the wine color fall picks and the natural picks, real pretty white leaves. If you can, I'm going to pick up more of these because I don't have enough of the beigeier off-white type of leaves and I need more. So I'm going to pick those up. This gorgeous butterfly, Dollar Tree again. All this is Dollar Tree. Isn't that gorgeous? So when you see these picks, pick them up. They don't always have them. When you see these beautiful butterflies, pick these up too because they don't always have them. So you guys, that is it for this one. I hope you've been inspired. Make sure that you pick up the 3 different sizes of pumpkins I showed you at the beginning of what you need to be looking for at Dollar Tree. And then you can E6000 these all together. I do a mixture of E6000 and hot glue. So the hot glue is immediate and the E6000 is what gives you the adhesion over time. I think they turned out gorgeous. So I hope you guys are inspired. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment and question, leave any comments or questions below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, you guys before, do something nice for someone today. And remember, we're more alike, my friends, than we are not. Okay? I will talk to you guys soon.